Hello, and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Niker. And wait a second, where's Freddie? Freddie's on vacation this week. And wait, where's our special guest? Our special guest had a last minute emergency. And now, like most of my life, we're going solo, baby. We're going solo. Let's go. We're gonna chat about all things the W this week. But first, you guys know the drill. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, let them know we're here. We're here, we're out here, we're doing the most. Tell your colleagues. If you're like, I'm a boss, tell your subordinates. Tell everybody, leave a positive review, leave a comment, let us know what you think. And happy to have you as always. So we're skipping tempo check this week because of the solo situation. Tempo check will be back next week. But before we get into all things W, I do want to update you all a little bit about how things are going with the tempo. And last week when we did our episode, we were like, yeah, training camp will be next week, et cetera, et cetera. But then we got invited to go to training camp as media. How incredible is that? So I went on Tuesday and I'm going back again Friday and Saturday for the last 2 days of training camp. And it was really great. The media availability was a bit limited, so I can't speak to anything they were working on specifically in practice and things like that. We weren't there for that. But they set aside a few people each day for availability. And on this day, one of the people happened to be Sandy Brondello. And, I didn't know what to expect because put aside a bunch of like random, like almost like rapid fire questions that I was going to ask like anybody who I could talk to. But we ended up in a scrum, which is like when the media like circles around a person and we're all like asking questions at the same time. So it wasn't really an environment for these rapid fire questions. So in the scrum, I wasn't sure how to approach it. And then I got in there when Sandy was talking, and I basically asked her, about like restaurants in the city and like if she's been showing the others around because she's been here slightly longer. It was fun. And I like asking different questions like that. Not that they have to be about restaurants per se, but everybody else is going to ask the questions about the defense and what your goals are and how what was that fast break like in the third quarter, et cetera, et cetera. And I just feel like with this podcast we have the opportunity to do something different, do things a little more outside the box. So Freddie's typically really great at coming up with different questions, but I'm just letting you all know that if you have questions for the tempo, or depending on the media availability we might get during games for, teams that happen to be in town, let us know. Like truly, like send us your questions for different WNBA players and coaches. And if they are nice and respectable, which I know they will be because everyone we've ever interacted with who listens to this podcast is literally amazing. So no doubt about that. But if it is and we can get them to them, we will. So that's really exciting news. And so I just wanted to start off with that first and foremost. Like, we're going to be applying for credentials for games pretty soon, but because we've already gone to training camp, we went to the expansion draft, we've been to basically everything leading up to this. It feels like, okay, the games are next. And we want to make the most of that. We want to make the most of that for you. So definitely message us. Usually Instagram is best. I'm at it's me _ Cathryn. Freddie is at Freddie Noel Rivas. But of course, you can reach us at the Pickup WNBA podcast. message the show. Usually it's Freddie who checks that. I also sometimes check it. Let us know anytime. And it's going to be a really, really fun season. Okay, so back to the W and the rest of the league. So one of the biggest like news items, if you will, this week has been the fact that Natasha Cloud has not signed to a team as of this recording. I'm doing this Wednesday night, April 22nd. So as of this recording, Natasha Cloud has not signed to a team. And it's funny, like I mentioned this last week so briefly, just like assuming this would be sorted out by now, but it hasn't. And it remains a mystery and to some degree a concern amongst fans because we love Natasha Cloud. I do. I'm sure we all do. Um, she's phenomenal. She's a great guard. I also just like her as a presence in the league. You know, I enjoyed her on the Liberty a lot last year, but whether she's with the Liberty again or not, I just want to see her in the league. There has been a lot of talk out there. I've seen certain, different media people, and when I say media people, I'm really referring to more social media people, talk about the fact that this could be because of her political views. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. What were the political views? And the main argument was just that Natasha Cloud has been openly pro Palestine. Um, Personally, I don't think that has anything to do with her not having a roster spot in the league. I could be wrong, I could be wrong, but I don't think so because the league has supported people's political beliefs, progressive political beliefs, etc., throughout the years. Like, I don't know why that would suddenly change now. I mean, Brittany Griner walked off the court during the national anthem in the bubble and the league supported her. You know what I mean? And that was something that happened like, on the court, like during, league time, if you will. So I don't believe that that's it personally. That would be a real shame if it was. Um I don't know. This situation remains ongoing. Let me know your thoughts, your theories about this. I really do hope this gets sorted out soon. It just feels weird to not have her in the league, right? I mean, another free agent is Emma Mieseman, but Emma Mieseman probably just doesn't even want to be in the league right now or is currently playing in France or something. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she signed like a post All-Star break contract just like she did last year. Um, but yeah, Natasha Cloud, really, really random. Really did not see anything like this coming. But again, I hope she finds her home. I hope she finds it soon. I know we're into training camp now, but she's a vet. She can pick it up. Um, you know, go from there. So the other big news is that Naphessa Collier is out with an injury. This is brutal. Naphessa Collier is out until June TBD, not an exact date yet, which is going to obviously affect their season a lot, I think. I mean, yes, they were able to play without Naphessa Collier last year, and at least in the regular season, they were able to win games and all of that, but their team has actually low key changed a lot this year. Like, they lost Alana Smith, they lost Bridget Carlton, they lost Natisha Heidemann. They lost Dejanay Carrington. I mean, they lost a lot of people. Yes, they were able to draft Olivia Miles at number 2, which is also wild. But that's a lot of their depth that they, between the expansion drafts and free agency, were not able to retain. And I really think this is going to affect them, unfortunately. Like, we'll get into season preview stuff probably next week. I anticipate maybe the week after. Um, but yeah, just really, really unfortunate news that Napheesa won't be playing to start the season. I root for everybody. I want everyone to do well. I just root for greatness generally, even though obviously like the Tempo are now my home team. Like I always want everyone to succeed. So just really, really disappointing news there. Wishing Naphessa Collier all the best and a speedy recovery, and really, really curious how the Lynx are going to be out the gate. So, another fun exercise that I was hoping to do with a guest, but I'll just do myself next year, not or this next year. I'll do for myself right now. Blah blah blah. And maybe Freddie can piggyback off of this next week. But Jack Maloney of CBS Sports wrote this really great article. One question for every WNBA team going into the season. I'm not going to break down every single team. Some of them are obvious, but I was just asking myself, which ones do I think are the most intriguing? So obviously, like I just talked about Minnesota, like I don't know if they're gonna be in the title favorite conversation going into next season now, right? Like, I feel like this is, like, low key pretty big. So that's gonna be a huge question mark for me. And then the other real big question mark, in my personal opinion, is Angel Reese's fit with the Atlanta Dream. This is the other like big, big thing I'm looking to see that, aside from being like, oh, it's gonna be great to see Caitlin Clark again. Oh, it's gonna be so great to see the Aces again, the Liberty, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it's gonna be great to see all of them again. But this is like one of those more unique, like, oh, I am super, super intrigued to see how this fit will play out. Obviously, they re-signed Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard. Brianna Jones is injured indefinitely, which sucks. Also wishing her a speedy recovery. They also re-signed Naz Hillman and Jordan Canada. Um, yeah, this team intrigues me. Will the Atlanta Dream enter the championship conversation? I don't think that's out of the question. Or you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's like far-fetched by any means. Do they take Minnesota's spot in that conversation this season only? Because obviously like Napheesa is gonna come back and I trust the Lynx will find some depth at some point. But yeah, the Atlanta Dream. I can't wait to see their first game when the season starts. I mean, I can't wait to see every game. It's a really exciting time. I feel like this week, like we went through a few weeks of just crazy, constant news. And then this week with training camp, it was a bit slower. But I also feel like this week feels a bit of a eye in the tornado situation. And yeah, it feels fun, feels good. I like it. Okay. So Freddie's not here. We usually do when it's not a Freddie's fun question, it's a Cathryn's quirky question. Let's go. Okay, a CQQ for only me, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll do it. We'll get into it. My question was, it's training camp this week. If you had to do something fun for the players to set up some sort of like team building thing or something like that, what would it be? So my fun thing that I thought of was so for those who don't know, Toronto, where this is where we're based, obviously, it snowed earlier this week. I kid you not, it snowed. It didn't stick. It wasn't like a heavy snow, but it snowed. And we're in the later part of April now, okay? Like it's kind of crazy. And like, I saw a video of Brittany Sykes who's here just being like, "What the heck is this? It's snowing." She's like, "I appreciate you, but what the hell?" And there's a lot of talk about the snow and how the players are being introduced to the city in this way. And we were, we kept hyping up the summers because the summers in Toronto are truly great and it does genuinely get hot here. But the winters are cold. It's like we just live with both extremes. And I thought, you know what? Maybe we just need to embrace the cold a bit more. Maybe we just need to double down. And I thought my fun training camp we getaway would be we should just take everybody up north and have everyone go dog sledding. How cool would that be? This is a bucket list item for me. I've never gone dog sledding before. I think it would be a really cool thing to do. It would be unlike any other WNBA team experience. And I think there would be a lot of great, like getting to know you, team building. There might even be some competitiveness, some friendly competitiveness with the players, with the dog sledding, but boy, oh boy, I wanna get on the back of that thing and get those huskies to take me on a ride, you know? I think that would be great. This tied with my, Antarctica fantasy, last week, is making for quite the fun combo. But nonetheless, that's my idea. I think it'd be cool. I think, like, when you live in a tough climate, eventually you just gotta embrace it or you'll go mad, and I think that's, like, instead of being like, "No, no, it's actually kinda cool here sometimes," which it is. You just got to embrace it. And so that would have been my fun thing. It's like it's a bit of a diving into the deep end sort of scenario, but in a fun way. In a fun, non-traumatic way. So, I challenge you all to send me your ideas. Let me know what would be your fun training camp thing. I couldn't fall back on the gay cruise again. I've used that answer too many times, although it would be great. WNBA gay cruise? Oh my god. Anyway, let's wrap it up there. Let's wrap up this Eye of the Storm podcast here. Thank you again so much for listening, for tuning in. Big things are upon us here at the pickup. This is really just the beginning. So if you've been following us all this time, thank you. We appreciate you so, so much. If you're new here, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Again, tell your friends, let them know. And if you think of questions that you want to ask the players, send them our way at the pickup WNBA pod on Insta, uh, YouTube, all that good stuff. And we're gonna make it happen, baby. We're making it happen. Thank you again. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.